Then he says, it really heard. Simple past. And then it goes, moves from simple past to present continuous. It's still hurting, using present continuous with another verb, still. Okay? So, the Charlie's brother, elder brother, he uses irregular verbs, simple past, present continuous, ing, and MSR subconsciously. Without knowing the rules. He doesn't know the rules. He didn't learn, and nobody taught him to use this kind of grammar rules, but he still can use it. That means he acquired the language. He didn't learn. Like adults, for example, you go to a private language course, you learn grammar rules, but still you cannot speak. And especially in Turkey, people take a foreign language that's KPDS or YDS, right? YDS. And they have like 90 out of 100 or 95. But when they go abroad, they cannot direct the driver to the address they want to go. They have no ability of speaking. So learning is completely different from acquiring the target language, our first language. Alright, so this is the difference between acquisition and learning. Another point. Acquisition means you understand and speak the target language without difficulty. Okay, for example, I bet you all are good at grammar rules, right? Even you know some grammar rules that Brittany may not know. Is that true? But you cannot speak as she can, right? You know the rules, but you have difficulty in understanding English and speaking English. And then you graduate, you still have that difficulty. Why? Because you're not exposed to the language all the time, constantly. The target language, which is English, is not spoken around you. You're not exposed to the language. You don't receive sound signals, and you don't send sound signals as much as expected, and that's why the acquisition doesn't take place. Right? So, question 3. Which of the following is true or false about input? What do we mean by input? Input. Receiving messages or information about the target language or about the language that we hear. Receiving something or perceiving something is the input. Ne yapıyorsunuz? Alıyorsunuz. In Turkish we say girdi or veri. Girdi. So when I receive something, when I receive the information or sound signals, that is input. Okay? It goes through my left ear to the right hemisphere and then to the left hemisphere. From there it goes to Wernicke's area, and then to Wernicke's area to Broca's area, and then to the motor cortex, and then produced. So this is input. So that is the typical behavior of older children and adults in the home environment. Is it called input? Yes. Someone is elder than you, or an adult, or it can be as old as you are, it doesn't matter. Or maybe younger than you. And this is the information, the typical information that you receive from other people spoken to, then it is called input. It is the language samples provided by interlocutors. What do you mean by interlocutor?
Who brings the interaction.
Yeah, the person who I speak to. For example, we speak to each other, talk to each other, then you are the interlocutor. For me, you are the interlocutor. And for you, I am the interlocutor. So we exchange information. Right? So this is the language samples. I say something, for example, to my niece and my nephew. Okay? Come here. Don't do that. That is bad. These are language samples received by language learner. And plus, Idris says something about cultural transmission. That's also very important in language, because the language doesn't consist of just grammar rules. It requires extra linguistic information, like culture, facial expressions, body language, and other things. Remember Charlie's brother, his elder brother, he said he was in pain because his finger hurt, and he said, ouch, ouch. Suppose that he was a Kurdish or Turkish boy. He would say, oh, right? Like, then, that means it's about the culture, it's not just about grammar rules. There you say, maybe in some other culture you say, oi, right? Oi. Or some other expressions. Or for example, when we're happy, how do we express our happiness? We say, yuppie, right? When you're happy, you just ask for yuppie, and then he's ready for you. Okay, you didn't get it. Anyway, but if you go to Russia, say, hurrah, right? And in England, hey-o. I don't know, maybe something else. For what? Yeah.
In Spain,
Yeah, baby, that's it. Something like that.
Español, ole. Ole. Español.
Ole, yeah. Ole. Okay. Right? So, learning about the culture is also important. And how do you learn about the culture? When you're exposed to the language around you. Right? Okay. Alright. Like, for example, my niece was talking to me the other day. She was making up a story about the dog, because I told her about the dog, and she was saying, "Voilà, gördüm." So, voilà, this is something that you hear from other people, interlocutor, and subconsciously she knows that you use voilà when you try to convince other person, right? That's why she's using it subconsciously, because I use it, or she hears other people using it within a context.
It's so dangerous.
It is so dangerous.
For me.
Dangerous. What is dangerous? To use Wallah?
No, not that one. For example, in the article, nobody used the question.
Okay.
Yes.
The question form.
Yes. Yes.
Bunlar iki kişi
And
alıyoruz.
I'm afraid of use it for my daughter. So, Dilbilim. If she says these sentences, I will be crazy, I think.
Okay. So you do not understand if it is a question or not.
No, I understand it, but it's not good.
Okay. If you think suppose that your daughter was speaking like this.
Yes.
Do you think it'll be a disaster for you?
Yeah.
Okay. You shouldn't be worried about it. Okay. All right. My niece, she went to the village for a few months. She stayed there, and when she was back, she spoke like you said. Bu senedir. Bu nedir? But in English also we use this kind of this form. And there's a question with intonation. You understand?
I know it. I know.
It is a question. For example, in Russian language, there was no extra word or phrase for making a question. You ask by information.
Yes, in French also.
In French, I'm not sure about French, but Russian is like this. And So in a simplified speech style adopted by someone who spends a lot of time interacting with a young child. For example, you've got a young child, a baby, a sweet baby. Okay?
Thank you.
I saw her baby. Okay, she's so sweet. May God forbid her. Okay, may God bless her. So sweet, really.
Yes, she said to.
Okay, just beautiful. Anyway,
Thank you.
like you interact with her, with that little baby, and you simplify your speech. How do we simplify our speech?
For example, I don't use the long sentence.
Yes.
Only short. Don't do it. Please come here. Go.
Bak köpek. Instead of saying
Yes, it's
bak
true.
köpek geliyor senin sıracı, bak köpek. Just köpek. Köpek is enough. Because if you use other components of the sentence, then it'll be too difficult, right?
And
A little bit too
boring
complex.
for her or him.
Yeah, and it's too
Complex.
difficult
Uh-huh.
to receive